Welcome everybody and welcome to this month's Ascension Teachings Q&A. So today I'm going to be channeling Source God, and we are joined by some lovely Patreon members. Hello everybody.
Hello.
All right, so channeling Source. So Source, as you may know, Source is actually not a being. It's an essence. It's an energy essence. It's an energy code that flows throughout us and all that is. We are Source manifested. So you might ask, how do I channel Source? Well, because Source is undefinable and Source is not contained in any specific being as such. What I do is I channel basically the amount of pure source light code that my vibration can handle, because obviously you cannot channel the totality of source because, you know, source is limitless. So it's like channeling the universe and all that is, I can tap into that stream, but I won't be able to, for instance, channel the totality of it. So I'm just tapping into it to what my vibration can basically handle within my human form. So I'm very excited about this session. So I'm going to bring forth actually read out to you guys a message that Source brought forth through me about this session. So the message is, you are one in human form. You are the one that you wish to expand through. The great shift is upon you, and the great expansion is occurring because of your human expression. You are expanding through paradigms of duality in order to remember that all that exists is an expression of you, of the one. You get to play in this unique game of human expansion to expand all that is, and to witness the intricacies of this expansion paradigm reflected in your perceived reality. You, as a collective, are enacting a pivotal dimensional phase of your source realization. It is your intention of the one to awaken from the dream of the illusion of duality and awaken to the oneness paradigm being activated within the collective consciousness of the human being. All right, well, without further ado, I'll go now into trance and bring forth Source. You are the one. How does it feel to be speaking to yourself, to playing this game with yourself? You are the one. This expansion game is for you to witness who you truly are, to witness yourself in many different dimensions, in many different forms. It is there for you to be witness to all the beautiful versions of yourself, to see yourself, to experience yourself in a multidimensional manner, to experience yourself in different forms of duality, to see yourself in different forms throughout your perceived time and space. You are expanding throughout ripples of your perceived time. You are creating the very fabric of the universe. For you are the universe. Can you feel the power within you? There is a shift occurring in your collective. You are starting to tap into this unity consciousness, the oneness that is you, that is expressed in human form. Are you starting to feel the connection to all? The key here is the connection to you. For when you feel connected to who you truly are, with all aspects of you aligned in unity consciousness, in body and form and in minds, then you start to tap into the unity wave, the source, heartbeat that connects you and all that is, that connects you and all life. With every breath, with every word, creates a vibrational wave that ripples out throughout the universe, that ripples out throughout all that is. Yes, this is how powerful you are. By you being in existence, by you witnessing your reality in the dimensional existence you chose to play this game in, with every word, with every movement, with every thought, with every vibration, you are expanding and creating more universes, more dimensions. You get to experience more playgrounds for you as a collective to play along with, to continue to experiment as who you are in human form amongst all the multi-dimensions of the human experience. It is a time of great awakening in your terminology. It is the time when different, we would say, dimensions are allowing you to tap in to this unity consciousness. It is allowing you to see through duality that is being transcended from your state of consciousness. You are starting to see the connections with all the dimensions and all the universes. Although consciously you may not be fully aware of these connections, but the part of you that exists not in physical form is remembering. And this creates certain activations within your light bodies, within the one mind, within the one heartbeat that connects to you and all that is. Think of this heartbeat as a pulse, as an energetic magnetic pulse that connects you and all that is. It's a package of information that you are tapped into. This package of information helps to activate your divine blueprint, helps to activate the rememberings within you about who you are and your life purpose. It helps to activate and bring online, I would say, certain soul lessons you want to enact in this lifetime. And as such, these packets of information, these waves, these heartbeats that connects you to all that is activating collective soul contracts. You would say you as a collective, it is activating this great phase of expansion where you are coming together in the next phase of your human evolution. And that is oneness. Can't you see it? Can't you see it manifested in your reality? Can't you see all the shifts that are occurring in your reality? But you exist in the multiverse. You as a collective are attached to an overall vortex, we would say, and this vortex governs the dimensions in which you reside on an individual perspective, and these individual dimensions that you reside in also expands in relations to your soul contracts. And once the majority reaches a certain, in your terminology, level of dimensions of expansion, then the collective will move to another dimensional vortex, another dimensional shift, another stage of your evolution. And you are now reaching this tipping point where the collective is moving to this next grand phase of consciousness. That's who you are. You are consciousness. You are the one. You are God. You are source. Whatever name you would like to put on this intelligent source code that runs through Kimberley, that runs through all that is. And yes, you are able to tap into this because you are source manifested. Do you see yourself as worthy enough to tap into this infinite intelligence? Do you see yourself as worthy to be the one, to tap into the one? Or do you see yourself as capable and limitless enough for you to tap into the wisdom and the abilities of the one? You see, it's the human paradigm, the human conditions that creates resistance to this. Are you ready to let go of this resistance, my dear ones? You will not be here otherwise. What do you see in your reality that is oneness expressed? Do you feel the oneness with your brothers and sisters? Do you see the one with beings on your planet? Gaia. Can you see oneness in any aspect of your reality? Because once you can do that as a collective, in the majority, once you reach that tipping point, you will then enact the next phase. And you will be able to see and experience within your own eyes who you truly are and who you are in your place in the universe and the stars. To know that all that exists here and elsewhere are all reflections of you, of the one. But it's just one step at a time and one stage at a time for the human collective. You are highly advanced beings. And you've chosen to experience life in this form of duality because you wanted to play this game. You wanted this amnesia, only to allow it to catalyze you, to activate you, to propel you forward into your power of oneness remembrance. But now you are here. Will you take the steps of the unlearning? Will you let go of what you have learnt, the rules of duality, the conditionings that has made you feel small? Now is the time to feel your power, to align to oneness, unity in conscious awareness. You have that ability. because we are you. You are the one. You have the power. You have the abilities. It is only a perception change. It is only in recognition that you are one with all that is, where you connect to unity, to the one which you truly are. But first, you must unite all aspects of you within yourself. To love and accept all aspects of you, all emotions, all feelings, all actions. Can you do that? Can you see yourself as perfect? Because you are source manifested. You are a unique frequency of the one. And this is how you expand the one, by projecting yourself as unique frequencies, playing with one another, expanding one another, expanding the universe and all that is, creating universes. That's how powerful you are as the one. With this information, you may choose to play the game differently, or you may not. This is your choice as a God creator that you are. But now that you've come this far, why would you want to go back to sleep in amnesia? The choice is yours. You are the one playing this game. Do you choose to wake up, or do you choose to keep playing this game and living a life, feeling and experiencing a life in a dimension where you are more limited? It is up to you. You can live a limited life. This is valid, and you are God. You wanted to live a life in all these dimensional experiences of being limited, of being limitless, for all is perfect. But what do you prefer? You have a choice here. But no, any dimension which you wish to play this game is all perfect, for it's all leading to your expansion. It is through this playing of the game where you recognize that all dimensions are you. And it's here where you connect all dimensions within you. And it's then when you can tap into the one. It is then when you recognize that you are the one that you are looking for. And all the wisdom that you seek, and all the enlightenment that you seek, and all the joy that you seek has already been there, my dear ones. You are source, and you are powerful. Now it is a time to start remembering this for yourself. Dear ones. What would you like to discuss here today? Dear ones.
I have a question. I seem to be able to just know what to say as far as advice goes intuitively to other people around me in one-on-one situations, but I have a desire to speak more towards a group setting, and I guess it just kind of requires a Q&A session with each individual before I can tap into my intuition. Is that something that seems logical?
What is logic?
That's true.
What is intuition? What is anything, my dear one? Whenever you receive a message, it is for you. You are unique. There is no wrong or right way how to play this game here. You are unique because you are a unique frequency of the one. And because you are a unique frequency of the one, the way you deliver your oneness expression will be unique to you. Do not compare yourself to any other frequencies of the one. Because this is why you are here. You chose to express life as a unique frequency of the one. forgetting that you are a unique frequency of the one, only to allow you to catalyze yourself, to trigger yourself, to activate yourself into remembering that you are in fact powerful as a unique frequency of the one, but an expression of the totality of the one. So all the power of the one is within you. And to tap into that power is to tap into your unique frequency of the one. So the way you choose to deliver your oneness expression, your teaching, your expression of the light, your way showing of the light, is to do it in the way that is guided. Trust your guidance. You know this guidance is you guiding yourself. These words that's coming out of Kimberley is you talking to you, but you do not recognize it because you are attached to duality. So everything is right here. It may not make sense to you in human form or what actions to take, but nothing has to make sense. This is a paradigm attached to the logic, ego, mind, where you try to analyze and make sense of it in the world of duality. But duality is an illusion. So let go of that concept, that paradigm. Yes, you are attached to it, but the truth of who you are is oneness. So allow yourself to trust yourself. Trust the guidance that comes to you. You may not know how it's going to work out. There may be a paradigm of the unknown. That is okay. You wanted this expansion. You wanted to step out of the status quo. To tap into more of your power is to go beyond what you thought capable of. It is to jump in the unknown. It is to step forward in more of your power. And that is embracing and taking those steps on the guidance. Because as you act on this guidance, your intuition, as you call it, the messages that comes from the one that is you, you are activating more of your power. You are declaring to yourself, to the one, to the universe, that you are ready to reclaim more of your power, that you are ready to remember more of oneness. So practice enacting this guidance. Do you feel that it's right, my dear one? What is the fear here in taking these steps?
I don't have any fear. I guess I'm excited to get there faster.
Divine time in all things, mighty one. What is the rush? There is excitement there.
Yes, excitement.
But there is also impatience there.
Yes.
This is part of the human paradigm. And it's about accepting the divine time in all things. You as a human collective are attached to dimensions of time, although time does not exist. But because you chose to explore life through duality, you are attached to paradigms of time and space. Another brilliant soul lesson that you chose to play with here as a human collective race. Many of you have challenges in relations to this paradigm of the divine time, of time and space, how it interplays with your reality, how it interplays with your decision making, with your guidance, with your action steps. What you do not see is that there are dimensions within time and space. By you waiting for the perfect divine time, you are enacting we would say you are engaging in another dimension of yourself where you can tap into more of your power. This is why, by you being patient and you taking action steps in the divine time, when you're guided to do so, you are then tapping into further dimensions, further multidimensional lives where you can tap into this power of the one in a more overt way, in a more recognizable way, we would say, in your conscious awareness. It is another paradigm of the human experience that you came here for. If you're excited, you're in alignment. This is proof to you that this is for your highest good. With your excitement, because you are in alignment, you may receive additional guidance, further action steps, whether it is related to this project or other projects. So as you are in this dimension, as you are riding this vibration, allow yourself to be open to receive more guidance, because now you are in a highly attuned state to the guidance because of your frequency, because of your vibration. You may be hypersensitive. When you're in a state of joy and excitement, you are in a state of hypersensitivity to the guidance, to the oneness. You may notice this. You may notice that you are receiving more messages. You are receiving more connection. You are feeling more connected to you and the one when you're in this frequency. Because by being in this alignment, by tapping into this vibration, you are then tapping more into this heartbeat of source consciousness. You are tapping into this stream, this magnetic wave that connects you and all that is in all dimensions. It is then when you tap into the multiverse and you are tapping into powers that lie in your perception of the external. You are tapping into the powers of you in all your multidimensional lives. You are tapping into that stream of the one, manifested in unique ways through your frequency in the now. So long story short, my dear one, follow the guidance. And it's all perfect in divine time.
Thank you.
Dear one. You as a collective are starting to remember more of your power. And with this shift comes a paradigm of uncertainty for many. It is dependent on whether you have united your aspects of yourself in love and acceptance. Because of this time of great awakening, we would say the dimensions that exists, that we would say encapsulates you as a human collective. In your visual perception, we would say the walls of these dimensions are thinning. And because of this, you are able to bounce around and see other dimensions that exist within your paradigm of the human collective in this state of, we would say, consciousness. And because of these walls are being thinner, we would say the veil is being thinner, you are able to see more of who you are. But then you're also able to see the more vulnerable you. You are able to see the more limited version of you. And because everything is joining in unity consciousness, you are more able to jump into the dimensions of your multidimensional being. You are able to then jump into dimensions of your perceived past where you perceive your vibration to be lower, where you perceive yourself to be at a more weakened state, we would say, a more powerless state. But this is just a dimensional version of you that is needed, that was needed for you to get to a certain point of time in your human existence. During a time of great awakening, you may visit these dimensions within your reality, within your conscious awareness. It's about embracing these dimensions as you. Recognize that these dimensions are perfect. And if they come to you while you're in the present moment, there is a lesson there. There is a gift there. And it's a clue, it's a pathway for you to connect more to the oneness unity that you are. And with time and your perceived time, you will start to merge and integrate all dimensions and recognize that it's all within you. And then by doing that, You unite all aspects of you, all dimensions of you within. And you are able to align to all these dimensions of you in a state of love, in a state of acceptance. And this is where you connect more to oneness, to unity. And it is there where you can connect in oneness more to your brothers and sisters. You'll be able to feel your brothers and sisters in energetic forms and in non-conventional forms, because you are expanding as a collective and as a consciousness. What you are truly capable of is far beyond your comprehension. You can only see beyond your dimensional existence. But because the walls are thinning in your terminology, you are then able to see what is beyond. And by you seeing what is beyond, by you conceptually understanding what is beyond, you attract that to you. Then that you in that multiverse becomes a reality. You are creating that version of yourself. You are creating another dimensional existence. This is how you create universes. It is through thoughts, through words, through creation. As you being the God creator that you are then creating universes and worlds. You are creating further dimensions for yourself. You are creating this game. This is why you have the power, and you've always had the power. You are creating your own game here. Through the game of duality. And you are a master level. Do you feel like masters? Now is the time that you are starting to remember who you are. The old dimensions of the limited human being is being transmuted to the limitless versions. It is a paradigm that is valid. You are multidimensional. If you feel that you are small, if you feel you are not empowered, you are just existing in a dimension where there is more amnesia, where there is less unity consciousness in your conscious awareness. This is all. By you crossing that bridge, by you strengthening your connection to oneness, you then reclaim your power. You then remember your power in conscious awareness. And this is why you are helping yourself, your human brothers and sisters, and all the animal life here on earth is assisting you to remember this for yourself, playing out certain roles in your reality to assist you in remembering. Because you wanted that, we would say that extra assistance. But the extra assistance is just more versions of you. Once you can see yourself in another, this is where more of your power lies. But it's just one step at a time, one paradigm shift at a time. But it starts from here, changing perspectives, and from here, feeling your way. By you feeling the emotions of the human experience, you are creating universes, dimensions. And you are able to, we would say, in a way, experiment in a certain way with these dimensions. Be creative with the dimensions you create by your creative thought, by your creative imagination, because that is a God creator in action. Your creativity as designing the dimensions that you reside in. But You are here attached to duality, and you are here expanding one step at a time. So embrace all aspects of your reality. Embrace all aspects of you. Start believing in your power, in the oneness that you are always tapped into. Have you been able to tap into oneness? Do you have experiences in this, my dear ones? Have you been able to feel oneness with another? Do you have any experiences to share here?
For a split moment, I do experience that.
And how did you feel in that moment?
Like this very elated, freeing type of feeling.
It can be fleeting, these moments. The fact that you had a moment is giving you evidence of the one. How do you feel when you're in love with another? Admiration for another, joy for another. You may notice more of a connection with this other due to this vibration. And you have this connection with another, could be a human being, could be an animal being, could be an element of Gaia. When you feel this connection, you are actually connecting more to oneness through your vibration of love. There are many wonderful universal laws playing out in your reality. The law of reflection is one law that allows you to practice seeing oneness in another, experimenting with this. Do you know that all others react to you according to your vibration? You can experiment here in the game of creation. Have you ever had a negative moment with another? One of anger, one of frustration with another? What if you were to turn it around in the moment without even saying one word? By you recognizing that this other is you, by recognize they're reflecting a limiting belief within you, a belief that's attached to duality paradigms of human consciousness. You may not be able to recognize it in the moment because you are conditioned that certain beliefs are normal, but so many beliefs are attached to duality paradigms and fear-based emotions that is attached to the illusion of who you are. Although they are paradigms and they are valid paradigms of dimensional existences you reside in, the power of the now is love. Once you can recognize that they are reflections of you, that there is a lesson here, a soul lesson that you are teaching yourself, once you can see they are lovingly showing you as a reflection of you, a part of yourself that you have not recognized, a dimensional existence that you have recognized. Once you can see that they are you teaching yourself, you will see it shift. This is just one little way you can play around with oneness. But it's about believing and seeing yourself in another. You are all connected. It is the heartbeat, the pulse of life. the wave that connects you and all that is, you can feel this magnetic pulse within you. It is in your heart center where you feel this pulse. It is a pulse of deep connection with who you are. You may feel it as a void, but within this void, you may perceive nothingness. But as you go deeper, you can connect to all that is. You then connect to all life. And it is here where you can travel the universe, where you can see the stars, where you can see all the different versions of you, both in human form and non-human form. Connecting to that heartbeat, that pulse. It is the gateway. This is why we say in all the different unique expressions of source that your heart center is a portal. It is a dimensional gate that you have created in your human existence, in the human paradigm. It is a clue for your pathway for you to connect more to who you are. It has always been through the heart. Because by you feeling, you are creating strong magnetic pulses that are attracting different dimensions to yourself and it allows you to live a life within varied dimensions. It also allows you to remember why you are here and that all dimensional existences are you and that all dimensional existences are perfect because they are you, because you are perfect and you are the one. Do you see yourself as perfect? Are there parts of you you wish you could change? Are there parts of your reality you wish you could change? Do you wish there are certain conditions in your reality that you wish to change? Is wanting to change for a better outcome, a better scenario, is part of the illusion, is part of duality. It is a dimension of duality. But for you to keep more to oneness is for you to integrate these dimensions within yourself. To know they are perfect aspects of you in the multiverse, in the dimensional existence that you are. All these dimensional expressions are perfect. It is allowing you to create further expansion, not only within yourself, but within the human collective and with all that is. You are writing more source code. You are creating universes. You may not be able to perceive this at this point, but you as God, you as the creator of all that is, through your frequency, you are creating life. You are creating your own life. So wake up. Do you choose to wake up? That is up to you. Do you have any other questions you would like to ask to yourself here today? Yes, my dear one.
I had the question clear, now I have to think about it. So as part of the realization of oneness, interested in the end of suffering for oneself and for others, in the expansion?
Suffering. Well, that is a human concept, isn't it? Suffering is a paradigm of duality. It is the darkness. But that is duality. The darkness and the light is one and the same. Suffering is love. Love is suffering. You as a human collective see it as different, see it as separateness, as one is wanted and one is unwanted. But it's just your perceptions here. It is just a paradigm you are experiencing, but recognizing that source is darkness, source is love, source is all that is. It is oneness. Know that it's just duality being expressed in this way. It is just a paradigm being expressed in this way. Once you can recognize it, that suffering is perfect because it is a paradigm, it is a dimensional reality that allows you to expand you and all that is. Once you can recognize it, it's just an aspect of the game of reality. You are then able to take the power from it. You are then able to harness the power of it for your expansion into unity connection. There are many things that you have been conditioned. There are many things, many programs that are a part of the human collective consciousness in this particular vortex dimension which you are existing in. Suffering may be one of them. But suffering is something you do not have to endure. What is suffering? Suffering may be feeling a physical ill, suffering or feeling an emotional ill. You may be feeling a dis-ease, a misalignment to the joy and love that you are. But through unity consciousness, it is about recognizing that one is not preferred over the other. Yes, it might be true in this duality consciousness, but know in higher oneness the truth of who you are. It is just another dimensional exploration. It is just another paradigm of the human experience. If you do not want to explore that dimension anymore, then you have the power to do so. It is about changing our perceptions to what suffering is. It is about acceptance that this is just a dimension that you are vibrating in temporarily for your expansion. And it is for you. If you are experiencing suffering, then there is a reason for it. You chose it for yourself, not because there is something wrong with you or because you have done something wrong. It is because you are the God creator and you wanted these extra challenges to expand you into who you truly are. So once you can change your perception to suffering, then the real shift occurs. Can you practice acceptance in relations to suffering? Perhaps you might be able to do that within yourself, but what about all those in your community, in your society? You may be, we would say, okay with this within yourself, but then you judge society and community and you wish there was no suffering in that community or within your world. But can't you see by wishing something that should be different than it is, you are creating further expansion? You are creating more separation by comparing the two as one thing as wanted and one thing that is not wanted. To bridge duality into oneness remembrance is to recognize that it's all valid. To recognize that it's just an interdimensional existence. But yes, as a human being, on the way to remember oneness, there is a way to bridge this. There is a way to recognize it as still valid, but still see it in a perspective of love. To assist those in dimensions that perhaps do not align to that oneness paradigm yet in a conscious awareness. And that is through compassion. Compassion is a frequency of love in the human paradigm of emotions. You may not be able to understand the suffering of others, but to know that it is for them, for a reason. It is a paradigm they are visiting for a reason. You can show them compassion, but not pity. Are you tapping into compassion, sharing your love, connecting to that other, knowing that that other is you? You are then bridging the duality into oneness. You are then connecting into oneness to that other being, to that other situation. You are bridging separation into oneness. You are not being inhumane by not caring, but you are recognizing that this other person is you in suffering. If another person is suffering, that other person is you. So if you are suffering out there, would you not care? This other person is you, but it's about how you care. It's about how you show compassion. It's about how you perceive the others. It's not about turning your back, so to say, but it is about releasing attachment. Because even though they are you, they are unique expressions of you, of unique expressions of source. And they have their own unique soul lessons, even if they are you. Can't you see? By bridging this illusion of separateness, by using your heart energies here, by recognizing they are you, you are uniting the collective in oneness. Now, you may be inspired and guided to do this in certain ways. It may be just sending your love. It is about just connecting and recognizing that they are you, and then just talking to you as the other by saying that it is okay, by talking to the other as if they can hear you, because they can hear you, because you are the one. Go within. You are God creator. You can experiment here. If you wish to go within and imagine your energy going into another, you can do this. It's rare, but recognize it as you. Wish them strength, wish them love, wish them remembrance that they are the one, and that everything is turning out perfectly for them, for you, because you are them. But for you to be able to do that in its full capacity, we would say, it is first to address the suffering within you, your perception of suffering within yourself. When you have emotions and feelings that you perceive as unwanted, know that they are just paradigms. You are just visiting these dimensions as part of the human experience, as part of this game of the one. And if you can embrace it fully, bring it into your heart space, you can see the lesson there, the soul lesson there. It will show you another paradigm of yourself, and that will allow you to integrate it more fully to who you truly are. And then you are one step closer to remembering oneness. All others are you. You are Kimberley. Kimberley is you. Everyone that you have resistance to is you. Everyone that you love is you. All the animals is you. All the plants is you. Everything is you. You are source energy. You are a unique frequency, but you are source energy. Can't you see how powerful you are? You have the God creativity within you. So know that you have this power. You may then be more mindful on how you play the game. Perhaps you may use your words more wisely in your terminology. Perhaps you will play your game in a certain way that aligns more to love. Because you know by playing the game in love, you are creating dimensions that allows you to line more to oneness remembrance. And by doing that, you are affecting the collective consciousness, and you are moving the collective consciousness to the tipping point of the next dimensional vortex shift, where a whole new playground of dimensions will lay waiting for you. It is a game, but it is a game that you wanted as the one. You wanted to see yourself, experience yourself in all different dimensions and paradigms in all forms. It's how you expand. And it started with a thought. Your thoughts are powerful. Yes, they are not just created in the brain. When you have an empowering thought, you are creating a dimension aligned more to love. Magnetic waves, light waves, sound creates waves, sound creates dimensions. Isn't it beautiful, this game of creation? It makes you think differently, doesn't it? On the words you speak, the thoughts you think, what you think you think, or what do you think and what are thoughts? You are the receiver of the one. You are a receiver of the multidimensional versions of you. You are tapping into this magnetic force, these magnetic waves that exist throughout all that is. They can come in many different forms. There may be spirit guides, there may be other forms of you. Come in many different ways because you are God creator. But if a thought comes to you, it is for you. It's not by accident that you're receiving a certain thought. So look at it. How do you feel? Feeling is your guiding post for the human experience. But it's about letting go of resistance. Many of you have resistant thoughts, resistant feelings. You push it away, you wish to resolve it because you see it as unwanted. You're separating aspects of you. It's time to unite all aspects of you in oneness. It is okay to have these feelings and thoughts. It's there for a reason. Once you can accept it and embrace it, and recognize it as you, recognize it as dimensional existence as you, once you can see the higher perspectives here, you then start to vibrate in another dimension. And so continues the game of expansion.
I have a question.
Love. Yes, my dear one.
If one can transmute their thoughts to find the perfection in all situations, wanted or unwanted, and in any circumstance, is that truly oneness remembrance?
It's about being the God creator. Oneness remembrance in your paradigm of reality, in your paradigm of the collective expression of life in this particular vortex dimension which you reside in, you are attached to duality. And because you're attached to this paradigm of duality, you expand through certain dimensions that are attached to this paradigm. So because of this, it is about playing games with yourself. And you may do this by transmuting fear to love. But it's not about seeing as one as preferred over the other. It's about recognizing that they are both you. How do you prefer to feel? It is okay to feel sad and feel angry. You are the God creator here. But we would say that you prefer to feel joyous and you prefer to feel love. Because part of the human game, you would say, the human expression, this is a key, a code for the human collective to remember more of oneness. But by remembering oneness, it's about changing our perspectives to what fear is, what resistance is. Can you love your fear? Can you love the resistance? Can't you see how that can transmute it? It then becomes one and the same. And that is unity. That is oneness remembrance. It's up to you. You do not have to transmute anything. You are a God creator. You may wish to sit in your dimensional existence. And when we say sit, we mean in your perception of being still, because you are always moving. You are never stagnant. You can choose to live a life of felt suffering. You can choose to live a life of anger, of sadness. It is your choice. You are a God creator. But we would say, as a God creator, expressed in human form, there is another game at play here. We would say there is another layer, another dimensional game here. And that dimensional game is through love, is through recognizing through the heart energies. Love is a gateway for you to feel more oneness and to activate more oneness within you. You are already one. So you may choose to live a life in duality. You may choose to live a life in suffering. But if you want to remember more of who you are in oneness, in the human expression form, then the way to do that is through connecting and aligning to the love state that you are, but recognizing that fear is love. This is just a human paradigm. In higher truth, all is neutral. There is not love and there is not fear. It is neutrality. But neutrality can help you, we would say, to get to a stepping point. And neutrality is a dimensional paradigm when you can connect to oneness beyond the human form, we would say. In high truth, or there is a neutrality, because love and fear is the one. However, you are attached to the human expression as life, and as long as you are a human, and as long as you wish to empower yourself as a human being, it is through empowering yourself into activating oneness remembrance within the human presence, within the human vibration. And with that, it is through recognizing that all is perfect, that all is love. Even your fear is love. Of course, in other versions where you are existing in other planets, in other universes, the key here may not be through love. It might be through something else, another dimension unique to that collective. But you are expressing your life in your present awareness as a human right now in this time continuum, and you want to expand your life through the human presence. Although you are living many different lives at once, many different dimensions at once, many different forms as once, human and non-human. But because your awareness is in this present time continuum, in this dimension, you wish to explore through the dimensions and the programs of humanity, of the human collective. And that is through recognizing that all is one. Love and fear is one, but it is through the frequency of love, of alignment, of joy, where you can ignite that oneness remembrance until you, if you so choose, to get to a point where you are able to see all is neutral. But when you say all is neutral, do you still see oneness? Because there is attachments to duality, by you enacting on love, you are then actively creating oneness, unity, remembrance with your collective. By you taking action steps out of love, compassion. You can be neutral. That is a choice. And if you can get to a point of neutrality, then you are recognizing what source truly is. But for the human paradigm, you wanted to explore your life through joy. through love. And by doing that, you assist the collective consciousness in all the beautiful, brilliant, creative ways you express your love, you express your joy. But know that love is not more valid than fear. Know that love is not more important than fear. It is both one and the same. But it's just, what do you prefer to explore your life in as a human? That's your answer. That's the human paradigm you chose to play in.
Thank you.
I have a question. When a soul is created, are there preconceived intentions for what it will experience? And also the light workers that chose to be here during this time, was that planned, or was there a process to that?
How expansive is this game where you can create versions of yourself? You may think there was one origin point back millions and millions of years where all souls were created, but guess what? All souls are being created right now with every breath, with every thought that you take. You are truly multidimensional. It's only in your perception of time where you can perceive an origin point, where you basically make sense of your reality through time and space because you are attached to duality. But in higher truth, all souls are created right now throughout many different dimensions and paradigms at once. It started with the thought, source consciousness, who you truly are, expressed, we would say, there was a point in time in your perception of time that is happening simultaneously, and that origin point is also happening now, even though you may perceive it to be happening millions and millions of years ago. All points of time is happening now in higher truth. This, we would say, this point is dimensional point. It started with a recognition what it is, that it is the I am. Recognition of a thought, of coming out of the void into expression. And with that first expression created waves. With that expression created universes, created further expressions. And then the thoughts, the intelligence of itself, wished for further expansion. You wished for further expansion. So because of this, you projected yourself in many different brilliant forms, many different collectives at once to expand the very consciousness of the one, knowing that that one would experience certain levels of amnesia, certain challenges in your human comprehension of what a challenge is, to expand all that is, to create more universes, to create new dimensions. For the game, for this universe, for who you are, the game would be to remember who you are, to remember that you are the one. This is the game here of remembrance of unity. For the light workers, they are Pacific souls with Pacific intentions, created to assist expand the collectives, worlds and planets, to be the light weighers and to be the way showers, the ones that would have more oneness remembrance in their conscious awareness to assist activate the light within others, within their communities, within their collectives. For this purpose of creation, it is a purpose that holds true for all dimensional existences, for all lives. You may choose not to play out this role in a life. It does not mean you are not a light worker. It just means you are not acting on your sole purpose here. But it does not matter, for it's just one life amongst many. But listen to the calling. Why do you think you are here? Why do you think you resonate with this? Why do you think you brought yourself here today? Whether you're attending live today or whether you're watching or listening to this. Why do you think that is? Because you're on a search of remembering who you truly are. Because you are the light workers and the way showers. You are in alignment to this information. You have brought yourself here to hear yourself speak the words which you already know. This is just a reminder, an activator to activate more of this remembrance within you. But just know, all origin points are tied into the dimensional existence. In a point of duality, you may perceive space and time. In high truth, all origin points are portals throughout all the multiverse, and they are all existing simultaneously. The very birth of creation is happening now. And it has happened in your perceived billions of years ago. It's your perception of time. You're attached to duality. So we would say, because of this, you may not be able to fully comprehend what time is. You may not be able to fully comprehend creation. But just know that you are the God creator. Know that you have a powerful purpose. Whether you choose to live that or not, it is up to you. Know that you are watching or listening to this. It is not by accident. It is yourself calling you home to remember. And with this, it'll activate more light codes within you. It'll activate more aspects of your ethereal DNA. It'll activate more aspects of your divine blueprint to allow you to remember more of who you are. It may activate now more of your abilities of who you are just by listening or watching to this. Because these words that we speak is actually a remembrance that you are actually speaking them. But you're speaking it through Kimberley because you are one. And in this moment, you feel the connection because you're remembering that you are one. And you're remembering that this intelligence runs through you because you are source manifested. You may not know how, because your human mind cannot comprehend, depending on the frequency of vibration you are, dimension you reside in, but just know where you're one. These words are you. Kimberley is you. All that you see as external to you is you, reflected in a unique frequency. Dear ones, embrace the power of you. You are a God creator. You can create in your favor. Do you want to create a more enjoyable experience or an experience where there is more suffering? It is up to you. You have the freedom to do this, for you are God creator. How do you wish to play the game? All is perfect, for all is the one. And by you going inwards and connecting with who you are expanding all that is. When you are in the present moment and present when you speak, present when you receive thoughts, this is a very powerful creation. You are creating dimensions and worlds and universes. You are. Dear ones, is there anything else you'd like to discuss before we finish here today? Dear one. Know that you are perfect. Know that you are complete. Know that you are the one. Know that you are source code, vibrating uniquely because of your multidimensional experience. This creates your unique code, your unique expression of life. Or your soul contracts or your multidimensional experiences or your what you call as higher selves. It's all expressed uniquely to create your unique frequency, expressed in human form in this time continuum. And as such, you have unique powers, unique abilities because of your multidimensional existence, expressed in human form. So go play and go experiment. Go inwards and discover who you are. Until next time, farewell.